Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at how to create a resource granter so that whenever we kill the creatures in our jungle, we can set it to give us a resource such as this light ammo. We will also be covering on how to grant it whenever a player that is in the lobby with us gets eliminated, will grant us a special resource, as well as whenever we eliminate a guard, that it will also grant us a resource. So see there, I got 30 wood, and there we go. So that's what we're going to be going over today. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look into is our guards here. So we already have our guards that we created from our last episode. I'm going to go ahead and set it so that these guys will actually use device spawn location and get rid of that kind of blue aura. So what we want to do is, since we have 3 different units, we want to make it so that whenever you eliminate each one, that they'll drop a specific resource to the player eliminated, kind of like in League of Legends. So the healthier ones, they drop a certain amount of gold. The gun guys, they drop less gold because they have less health and stuff. And then kind of League of Legends has a cannon unit, so this will be our special unit that'll drop a special resource. So let's go ahead and set this up. So in our content drawer, if we go over to our Fortnite folder and devices, and we search up item granter, let's go ahead and set this up behind these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this out, and there's a few settings that we want to set. So on grant action, we do not want it to clear inventory. We want to do keep all. And right now we're going to be setting up our first dude in the back, so our hammer guy. So we can go ahead and add an item that it'll grant us. So we're just going to make it wood, and we're going to set it so that for demonstration purposes, let's just do 30 wood. We'll adjust that later. And enable that game start, yes. Receiving players, triggering player. Grant condition, always. No, we only want to do it if there's space in the inventory. So if they had 999 wood, it would not grant it to them. And then another thing is cycle behavior. We want to wrap and drop items at player's location, never. And then let's go ahead and set this to grant item. We want to hit plus, and then we want to click our hammer guy over here, and then we want to do on eliminated. So once this guy gets eliminated, it's going to grant the triggering player that resource. What this means, though, is kind of like in League, is if our guards take out the enemy guards, it doesn't grant it to us. We have to be the one that lands the killing blow in order to get that gold. So we got to be kind of strategic with how we're killing them, which also means we might have to make it so that we show the health bar, which I might go ahead and turn on just to test out. I don't know if that's permanent, but that's what we want to do. So let's go ahead and drag out another instance of our item granter, and we are going to do our gun guy now. So we're going to only make this 20 wood, and we're going to keep the rest of it the same. Besides, we're going to change this to guard spawner gun guy. So on eliminated, and finally we're going to drag out another one, and we're actually going to change this to brick or stone, and then we'll make this like 50. So you're gonna get a good resource for defeating this guy, and then we're gonna make this our special unit on eliminated. So we got 3 item granters for all 3 of our guards. Let's go ahead and see this in action. Okay, so if we'll see here, you can see their health bars now, and I actually kind of like that. I don't like the guard icon. But you'll see whenever one of our guards takes down one of their guards, you know, if he can, nothing happens, you know, great. But whenever we go and land the killing blow, we get 20 wood. Now, if we can get someone low here, here's gonna be it. So if I go ahead and finish this guy, I get 30 wood. So if I land the killing blow, then I am going to get that resource. And that's just how we want it. All right, so that's exactly what we want. I'm actually going to copy the same thing on the other side over here. So I just want to set it so that we can see their health bar on all these. So show health bar, and then I'll go ahead and make it so that we can see this a bit better. So the next thing is I can actually go back to where we just created the elimination thing, and I will need to set it so that they are a duplicate. We can't use just the same one. So let's go ahead and drag these over to the other side. So let's go ahead in here, make sure these are connected to the right way. So we actually got to flip these around and just make sure that they're all connected to the right guard spawner. So this is our brute. So let's go ahead and connect this guy up and on eliminated. And then same with these, we're going to connect to our, just mirroring it basically. Great. Okay, so if we actually take the same concept that we're doing with the guards, we want to apply this to our characters. So whenever we take out an enemy player, we will also get a resource. So a few things, if we go and grab an elimination manager from our Fortnite devices, this will be useful, as well as an item granter. So let's go ahead and grab these two things. And first in the elimination manager, we want to do selected team. We're going to do any and enable that game start. Target type, we just want to do players only. And then that really should be it on this. And then on the item granter, we'll go ahead and set up our stuff. So on grant action, we want to do keep all, and then grant current item. And then we'll go ahead and add our item to our list. We're going to do metal. So it's a pretty good resource. We'll do 100 of these because it is a player elimination. Enable that game start. Grant condition, only if there's space in their inventory. Grant on cycle. So when the current item cycles, grant the new item to the player. So we don't even need that. Cycle behavior, we're going to do wrap. Drop items at players, never. And then we'll do grant item, and we'll add a plus, and then on the elimination manager. So on elimination, we are going, so whenever we eliminate a player that eliminated them will get 100 metal. So we can go ahead and set that up. I'm actually just going to push these to the side, but we know that's working. I can't really test it out right now, but yes. Okay, and if we take the same concept, I created a little jungle over here with a creature spawner. So on this, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to grab an item granter, and in here, we're going to have a resource such as wood. So we'll just do keep all, and then grant current item, and then item list. I had it so that it actually grants them ammo, like light bullets, and then you can also do grant all items. So let's say we wanted to grant them 20 light ammo, and then also let's do some wood as well. So on wood, we'll just do like maybe like 5 or yeah, 5 wood. So it'll grant them both of these, and then enable that game start, receiving players, triggering player. Grant condition only if space, and then cycle behavior wrap, drop items at players, location never. So now we can do this to grant item, and then we just click our little creature spawner, and then we want to do on a creature is eliminated. So now whenever they get eliminated, it'll grant them light ammo and wood. And you can set this to whatever you would prefer. That's just what I'm going to do. If we take a look here, we have, not too much space to work with. I'm going to have a creature spawner on each of these locations, as well as up here guarding the ice cream, which will also grant metal. So that'll be kind of a capture point. But I'll essentially have probably 2 on each side, and then we'll mirror it, and we'll do something crazy over here with a jungle camp so that they can farm. So that's basically it. That's how we use guards, players, and creatures to grant us resources that we will use to purchase upgrades that we will use later on in the game. I am all over the place. So yeah, all of our upgrades will be able to use our wood, stone, and metal to purchase things. So that's what we got going. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Peace.